Of course, handling snakes as a test of faith is nothing new to religion. Catholic altar boys have been doing that for years. Hi-yo! At a recent premiere for Angelina Jolie's Maleficent, security swarmed Brad Pitt after the actor was rushed by a man who managed to get over a barrier. I'm guessing that barrier wasn't shyness. Those who tuned into NBC for the World Music Awards were shocked to find the broadcast had been mysteriously canceled. Considering the World Music Awards hasn't held a ceremony since 2010, tens of millions of, just tens of viewers were disappointed. And that's the Hollywood Rockin' Wrap-Up. Follow us on Twitter at Rockin' Wrap-Up.
Why don't I have any friends? Why doesn't anyone like me? Why was I beaten unmercifully just for walking into that kid at school? Because you're a geek. Attention nerds, geeks, goofs, dorks, and dweebs. You now have friends.
That's right, you heard us.
Want a friend? Come join us live every Friday at 5 Pacific on Excite Radio. Unveil and expose geek life on Geek Speak. Because if we don't, who the fuck will? Call in via voice, Skype, or instant message. You can now watch us live on Ustream and subscribe on iTunes. Be there, or be a fourth-dimensional rectangular object with 4 parallel areas that intersect to form a shape.
So that last segment was brought to you by the people over at Ultrasound. Ultrasound specializes in headphones. That's what they do all day, every day. It's headphones. They have a day-to-day commitment that leads to explicit expert knowledge. Their constant development leads to high-quality headphones that are equipped with nothing but the latest technology. They invented the S-Logic natural surround sound and ultra-low emissions that are absolutely unique to what it is that they do. So whether you are a professional audiophile, whether you are a producer, or whether what you are is somebody you've got your iPhone, you've got your smart tablet, and what you really need is their great Pico in-ear headphones, Ultrasound, that's Ultra, SONE.com, and find a way to listen to music in a way that you've never heard it before.
My name is Mighty, last name Poise, and I'm riding on a mountaintop on my trusty horse. I never leave my radio at home. I've Excite Radio on my phone. Listen live, interact, stay connected.
ExciteRadio.com.
It's time to build your website. But are you feeling overwhelmed on what to do next? What's the first step? What do you do? It's simple. Just give us a call. At Excite Media Los Angeles, we specialize in professional website development. For over 14 years, we have created well over 1,000 custom online experiences. From small businesses to enterprise, we can handle projects of any size. Need a mobile app? Want your site to do something unique? Looking to revamp and revive your existing site? We've got you covered. For more information, visit our website at xmla.com. or call us at 818-985-2464. Excite Media Los Angeles, Web Development.
Live healthier and learn to walk again. Tragically, thousands of victims of spinal cord injuries are needlessly trapped in a wheelchair. Every day, these victims are told by medical establishments that they will never walk again. Walking with Anthony's mission is to forever change the recovery outcome of spinal cord injury, currently perceived as unchangeable. In addition to educating the public to raise awareness of the impact of spinal cord injury, Walking with Anthony raises funds to expand Project Walk and other rehab centers, support research relating to spinal cord injury rehab, and most importantly, we provide financial assistance to spinal cord injury victims that do not have the funds to pay for this expensive recovery, so many may have the opportunity to get stronger. Donate today and help Walking with Anthony provide access to the therapies that they have miraculously helped many people get stronger, live healthier, and have the opportunity to walk again. To make your donation or to learn more, visit Walking with Anthony.
Time to relax, kick back, and enjoy some drinks at Sunset with the Wise Guys. Here are your hosts, Paulie and Vinny. Paul.
We are two men of a certain age.
Hey, we're here.
Yeah, there we go. So we start again?
Let's start again.
All right, so Hey, it's time for another episode of Drinks at Sunset with
The Wise Guys.
I'm J. Anthony McCarthy.
I'm Steve Sabo.
And we are two men of a certain age trying to make it as actors and entertainers in this town called Hollywood. This
Land
place.
of La La.
Indeed.
You got a claim.
There you go. We're in the studio again live, which is always a pleasure. Excite Radio, WXSR, getting us out there for everybody, and we appreciate it. We have been very fortunate to be able to have a guest with us each week that we've been in the studio. This week we have one of our favorite actresses that we've been able to work with on our web series, Miss Melinda Ratner. Hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
Welcome.
well.
Welcome.
Good.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad you're out here. We're going to kind of roll through things. This is us talking about being actors and working through life in Los Angeles. And so we're just going to kind of bounce around, talk about some different subjects, and enjoy ourselves. Please, you brought yourself a little pumpkin ale there, it looks like.
What did you bring?
What are you drinking there?
I did. I brought some pumpkin ale, America's original, in fact.
Oh, okay.
And
Nice.
It is
Is,
quite delicious.
Is it a favorite of yours, or is it just something that you kind of was like, oh, I'll try that?
No, it is a favorite. I have
Okay.
many in my refrigerator.
Leftover from Thanksgiving.
From Halloween, something like that.
Oh, Thanksgiving, yeah.
Okay.
And but I think they still are selling it.
Okay,
I think,
well,
yeah.
good.
But when
So it's
when
not
they
just
don't,
seasonal.
I move to apricot.
Oh,
Apricot's really good.
So that's a summertime brew for you then. Okay. Well, here we go.
I gotta get my plug in. I got some Michelob Ultra Amber.
There you go.
Oh.
It is good beer.
And I'm drinking crystal clear water because of things that are still going on. So, since we're talking about things that are going on, let's just kind of bounce around. What we do is usually Steve and I start off by talking about our weeks, what we've done to get by and to live and stuff like that as we go through. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to come back to you and ask you some questions and go through that. So, Steve,
Yes, sir.
how was your week? What did you do, man?
My week was great. How about you?
Excellent. I only had to go to the emergency room once. So.
That's nice. That's nice. I, on the other hand, did not have to go to the emergency room.
I'm so glad.
So I think I had a good week in that regard.
Yeah.
Typical week. Down to one part-time job. Got offered a full-time job,
Yeah, I was
which was kind of neat.
Can you say what that was?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I was out canvassing and it was really interesting. The company, I'm knocking on the doors, meeting and greeting, talking to people, and the company that I walked in on recognized the company I was working for and spoke very highly of it, saying, hey, you know what, you guys got a great model that we try to mold. They're not a competitor, so we don't have to worry about that.
right.
But, and so we look at your company's success and we're trying to emulate it for our company and our reps. And so we started chatting and talking, and lo and behold, by the end of the conversation, he says, you know what, let me take one of your cards, and if you ever get sick of what you're doing, come on, come
Yeah.
on over, pop a resume by, and maybe we can talk about future employment.
That's cool.
And
Yeah.
so that was a good feel-good story there.
That's nice, man. It's always good to get a little reinforcement like that. And the nice thing about that is, it's not so much that you're sick of the company that you work for. You actually don't. You actually enjoy working for them. They just don't have enough hours and work for you at this point in time.
Exactly.
So-
Yeah, and it's not because they are doing anything wrong. It's just that's the philosophy of
The model.
The model for the company. This is the position. This is what it does. It's great. It's just I need more for financial reasons. Other than that, if it could pay me everything I needed, it'd be great.
You'd be sticking with it.
Yeah,
so,
I'd be staying
yeah.
with it. So
there's
it's an
potential.
option. Yeah,
That's cool, man.
It would be a selling job, and it would be a commission-based selling job, which is.
That's always a little scary.
And that's what he said. He goes, "There's no risk if it's salary." I'm like, "Well, I've done that. Been
Yeah.
there, done that. Don't know if I want to do it again."
Yeah, I'm the same boat. I did commission work, and I'm tired of that. It made me very unhealthy.
Right.
Changed my viewpoint on a lot of stuff, and made me focused on things that are not necessarily the best things mental health wise.
I hear you. But by not having the extra part-time job doing the after-school program with the chess program, I've had more time to get some things set up and start concentrating on some things. One of the things we've talked about is coming back and maybe doing another season of We Picked the Winners.
Which would be great.
Yeah, which would be great. And then also trying to put together some other projects, whether it be sketch comedy videos and or other things.
Right
And
on.
so I got I spent some time, putting that on play and putting some of that stuff on paper and just seeing what I can do with it. So that's kind of been my week. Other than Monday, we had an extra long weekend. I hope everybody had a good time, right? It was because of Memorial Day,
Right.
And we didn't mention it last week. And
No, we didn't.
I want to mention it this week.
Yeah.
That we had an extra day, and I want to thank the people who've served for our country,
Giving their lives for us.
and given us a chance to speak English and have that extra day.
Yeah.
And so honors and glories to them, and thank you very much. And let's see. And I had to get a chance to go see a couple of movies, which we'll touch on a little bit
Yeah,
later.
that's a good thing. I kept hoping I was going to get out and see a couple of movies, but just never quite felt well enough to actually go out and brave the crowds and everything here in LA. So.
I will say the AMC theater that has the Prime theater, which it gives you the reclining chairs.
Up in Burbank.
Yeah, that would work.
It's
your
actually-
legs are almost perfect.
There's also one in Montrose.
Okay.
Yeah, right
Which-
off the 2.
Which is a little bit of a drive for me, but that's cool to know. Actually very good to know. So
But really nice, very comfortable, excellent theater. Had a good time.
That's
and
cool.
Also looking forward to the Belmont Stakes for the
Coming up.
the third leg of the Triple Crown. So
what's the horse's name again?
California Chrome.
California Chrome.
Yeah, I went and saw her out here in Santa Anita. She won the Santa Anita Derby. That's what got her into Kentucky Derby. She won the Derby, then won the Preakness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the longest of the 3 races. And basically, the way it was explained to me is he's got to run the same race as the Preakness, but then another 30 seconds. So it's going to be another, a 2.5 minute race as opposed to 2.3.
Interesting.
So gonna be a really, really. I mean, if this horse wins the Triple Crown, this is going to be
it's a big deal.
a big deal because of the talent that he's running against. He's running against horses that finished second and third in both the Kentucky, second, third, and fourth in both the Kentucky and in the Preakness,
right.
and a couple of horses that won other preliminary races to get into things. So this is going to be a really, really competitive field.
That's cool.
So he's the favorite, but not by a long shot.
That's interesting. Well, cool. So that was your week.
That was my week.
That was
yeah,
your week.
yeah.
Okay.
How about you, Tony? Tell me about your week.
Just doing my best to stay healthy. I've been, some of you have been listening, know about. I've been having some health problems that I'm working through. Kidney stones that have been very adamant about not moving out. So because I'm going through the Medi-Cal system and stuff like that, which I'm very happy is in place for me. It just takes them a while to get to me. So right now it's all about just maintaining pain control and getting to my appointments next week. I got 2 appointments, one for my leg to get a new brace that will actually allow me to use the repaired quadricep tendon and knee, and then an appointment with the urologist to take a look at what the stones are and where they are and what we need to do if we need to do anything. So just trying to hang in there till next week. So most everything else that I could be doing, I've been spending a lot of time with Netflix and Hulu. Watching some different shows that I enjoy, a lot of comedy and stuff like that, because it's better to laugh than to cry.
Stupid question. Are those things still free, or are they now a monthly charge?
Well, I've subscribed to both of them. Netflix is a subscription deal, and that's it.
Netflix has always been a subscription, but Hulu, though,
Hulu, there is both a free and a paid service.
Okay.
And I found that some of the stuff that I wanted to watch was only available through the paid service. So I ended up, and still, I'm spending, between the 2 services, I'm spending about $16 a month, and I can watch almost anything I want, There's only a couple of things that are not really there, like some of the Showtime stuff and things like that, and whatever.
Yeah, it seems like anything that's pay TV, you have to pay for.
Yeah, exactly.
And also I've noticed that it seems if it's not on the network's website, then it's not going to be on YouTube either.
Right. So, but I've been watching that and doing stuff to try and relax and laugh and stuff like that. I wasn't kidding. I actually did wind up in the emergency room again earlier this week because the pain overwhelmed me, and I got to feel morphine for the first time in my life.
Tell us about it, please.
Well, it was one of those
Share.
things where just basically I went from being in enough pain to where I was laughing and crying when I went in the room to them having to kind of shake me and go, Mr. McCarthy, we need you to take a deep breath. You're not breathing deeply enough.
Oh, wow.
Like, oh, really?
Have a happy joy.
I feel I'm not having to work for my breath. They're like, no, you're not. You're not getting enough oxygen in. So take a breath for me. Okay, that was good. Do another one. Okay, all right, that's good. Keep that up. All right. So,
that's how it works,
was,
huh?
and it really was one of those things where just the difference in the pain and the receptors in my body and what was going on was astonishing, just astonishing. It's not something I want to get used to. That's
No,
for
I hear you.
damn
No.
sure. It's really weird. It's like it was such a relief that it was like I'm not sure I'm really in my body anymore. That's not comfortable. So, but it's what I needed at the time, and I've been able to control the pain since then, and hopefully we'll maintain it through next week. So
There you go.
So that's what my week is. It's kind of survival mode. My options of what I'm looking for and trying to do each week has kind of tunneled down. One really nice little bright spot.
Okay.
A European video game company. They do flash games, and I'm not going to say a name yet until I know more, but they had been talking to me for a couple of months about the possibility of doing a couple of voices for a new video game that they were going to be putting online. And they finally reached out to me and said, would you please do these things, and we'll figure it out. So I basically am on spec with them right now, and they liked the first lines that I sent them, and they sent me a new batch to work on that I'm going to do tomorrow and send in tomorrow afternoon. So
That's great.
something that
That's
I'll
really
get
nice.
something of a paycheck at some point in time, and then I'll figure out what I got to pay, agents and managers and stuff. So, but that's my week. That's where things are, and the big deal right now is with the pain and everything else. I've managed to lose almost 40 pounds, and I need to find a way to maintain that and continue, because one of the big things when I did all the reading about kidney stones and everything, and again, I'm going to get off the health thing, I'm sorry, is that being overweight is number one giant factor. Being significantly overweight, being obese, which, technically I am, number one factor. If I lose the weight, I could possibly never have to worry about it again, even if I'm a candidate for them, because the body will be balanced out. So been eating a ton of vegetables. I had meat today for the first time in 2 weeks. Our mutual friend Andy Forrest called me up and said, hey, I'm having an audition on your side of town. Can I buy you some lunch? And he went to a local deli and got me a ham sandwich, and we had lunch together today at the apartment, which was fantastic.
Is that the meat you're talking about?
Yeah,
Ham?
Ham, yeah.
All right.
I had some ham. So
All right, cool.
I had some ham.
So you didn't
Falls
go
in the
for
meat
steak
family.
or
No.
hamburgers?
He got me a sandwich, so I had, and he got me, it was like an 8-inch sub, and I ate half of it, and it was like, that's more than enough. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to pay attention to that.
Isn't it something though? I mean, when you're not eating portions like you were before, and all of a sudden you eat a big portion, it's like, oh my God, how did I do that?
Yeah, I don't need to be eating entire pizzas anymore. I don't need to be eating, triple-decker burgers or things like that. Not that, to be honest, I didn't eat triple-decker burgers, but I don't need to be eating giant burgers and stuff like that. I can have some sometimes. I got to pay attention to that. So.
Exactly.
So that's my week. Now, we've talked an awful lot. And I'm thinking, since we know we've got Miss Melinda here, how about if we go to commercial?
Yeah, let's take a quick commercial break here, and and when we get back, we'll talk a little bit more.
We'll start talking with
Ratner.
Linda Ratner. There we go. So.
Katori Magazine has been reborn. New articles, new features for those who demand to stay on top with what you care about. Music, art, politics.
So that's what we do.
KatoriMagazine.com. A different kind of magazine for a different kind of generation. Katori Magazine.
Moment to Moment, the MTM Group, is a full-service marketing and media agency that specializes in fostering emotional connections between client offerings and consumer passions. We produce memorable campaigns and experiences that meet client objectives through the thoughtful use of new technologies and core strengths we've evolved over the past 15 years. We lead with a proactive approach, listen and deliver. For more information, visit the mtmgroup.com or call 310-291-8066. We specialize in printing and product manufacturing for advertising and marketing. We look forward to serving your business's printing, mailing, and marketing requirements with competitive prices and superior customer service. To learn more about what we can do for you and your local business, visit us online at promedia.la or call 818-947-1605. promedia.la.
Feeling lonely, depressed, or suicidal? Then why not rescue a kitten? Kitten Rescue is the largest animal rescue on the West Coast. They specialize in special needs or shelter-rescued animals who need a loving home and a friend. So put down that razor, get off that chair, unplug that radio, step out of the tub, and visit kittenrescue.org and browse through our selection of happy and healthy animals who want you to take them home and have them become part of your meaningless, pathetic existence. Bring some purpose into your life, at last, with the gift of joy and responsibility. Rescue a kitten.
All right, we are back with more Drinks at Sunset with the Wise Guys. And now we'd like to kind of switch things over and put the focus on our guest, Miss Melinda Ratner, who has done a wonderful job playing Miss Angie for us on We Pick the Winners.
What is your character name in We Pick the Winners? Is it Angela's?
Scozio.
Scozio.
Yeah.
Angela Scozio.
AKA Angelfish.
Angelfish.
Yeah.
Yes. Your special name for me.
Yeah. Good Lord.
So excuse us a moment.
Yeah, no problem. I'll give you. I'll cover my eyes.
We'll fill you in. Angel or Melinda plays my fiance, girlfriend, wants to kick my head in, all of the above character on the We Pick the Winners to Vinny two times. So that's where the Angelfish comes in.
Yeah. So Melinda, where are you from originally?
I'm from Pennsylvania.
What part?
Around the Pittsburgh area, little town called Greensburg.
Okay.
That explains a lot. Hence everything Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, yes. I am a huge Steeler fan.
Yep. There you go.
I may have left Pittsburgh, but my heart is still there and always will be.
Good for you.
I grew up 10 minutes away from the training camp.
Oh, nice.
In Latrobe, known for Rolling Rock and Steelers training camp.
There you go.
Yeah. So.
Rolling Rock beer, 30, was it the little 33?
33,
So.
But they moved them out of Latrobe because they were bought by Coors, I think.
Yeah.
And so they moved them out of Latrobe, which is unfortunate because they were using the water from the streams out there. So it was
good, clean water, actually.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Okay, so you were in Pennsylvania and close to Pittsburgh and everything. What first got you interested in acting?
My mom was an actress, and she still is actually. She's actually doing more acting than I am.
Oh.
But she's always been an actress in Greensburg, and there were a few small theaters out there that she's always worked in, and then she's done a few shows in Pittsburgh. And there was one theater called Apple Hill Playhouse, where she would do a lot of shows, and then they also had children's theater.
Oh, nice.
So I got involved with the children's theater while she was doing the adult theater there.
Very cool. And then this is fun. We knew she was an actress because she actually, her and your dad both came on and played characters for us on We Pick the Winners in one of our seasons, which was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And
they were awesome.
That was brilliant casting because we casted them as your mom and dad.
Yeah.
So, hats off to Steve Sabo for the casting on that. So.
And luckily my dad is not an actor, but he's a ham, so it worked out perfectly.
And he was wonderful in that. It was very funny.
It was a very, very funny scene that we did.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So, all right, so now you're doing children's theater there in Pennsylvania, and you've grown up. When you went to college or went to school and everything, were you set on being an actress, or were there other interests?
Not really. I mean, I'd always been interested in animals. I've always loved animals, and So I've thought about, maybe doing something with animals at one point, but I'm too sensitive to them being in pain.
So being a veterinarian would be really tough.
Yeah, working in any of those things like a veterinarian's office or a rescue, I think it would just be too emotionally devastating. I'm also not good with blood and fluids, and so that kind of eliminated that.
Join the club.
Yeah.
In college, I was interested in psychology. I took a class, and I found it very interesting, and I did my term paper on drama therapy.
Oh, wow.
So I thought about that for a while, going on to grad school, but there were only 2 schools that had a graduate program in that, and so I thought, I may not have any better luck in that than acting.
So, did you do theater in college?
I did. Yeah,
Okay.
I was an acting major.
Okay, well, Tony and I talked about this last week. Do you have a favorite role in theater?
I have a few favorites. I played Laura in the Glass Menagerie.
Okay.
Which I
Very nice.
loved.
I was the gentleman caller.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, many, many years ago.
Yeah, it's just such a wonderful play and a wonderful role. So I love that. And then I also did the effects of gamma rays on Man in the Moon Marigolds with my mom.
Okay.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. It was such a different role for her. And that was a really good time. And then I did the Heidi Chronicles after I graduated.
Okay.
And that was a lot of fun because I played 3 really completely different roles.
Nice.
And so that was a lot of fun.
Now, this is something that popped in my head after we talked about this last week. So those are some of your favorites. Is there a coveted role? Is there a role, either theater, television, or anything that you just go, that would be perfect. That's me. I could do that all day or anything. Is there anything like that that's ever come your way?
That I actually did,
Or that you would want to do? Either way.
Pretty much at this point, anything would be a coveted role. So, ideally, I would love to do a sitcom. That would be my ideal situation. I like drama as well, but I just think, like you said earlier, comedy, it's so much more fun to laugh than to cry.
Yeah, it is.
So I do love comedy. I would love to do a sitcom.
Okay.
But really, anything would be...
Yeah, a paid gig would be a good thing right now. I get where you're going. So.
Okay, Melinda. So you're in college and you're getting the spark or getting, whatever it is to light that fire to say, hey, this is probably something I want to pursue and take seriously. So how did you make your way out to L.A.?
Well, I did a lot of theater in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, there was some film and television going on, but not nearly as much as what's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
But I did some theater. I became equity out there. And it got to a point where there wasn't a ton of equity theaters out there. There were just a couple. And so with Carnegie Mellon being there and Point Park and the age that I was at the time, and the fact that there were only like 3 equity theaters, it kind of felt like it was time to move somewhere where there were more opportunities. I was trying to decide between New York and LA, and the weather was a huge contributing factor.
Yeah.
It felt like...
It usually is.
I had heard horror stories in New York about having to get up at like 6 in the morning and stand in line for equity auditions outside.
Jeez.
And I thought, if that's happening and there's like ice and snow, then I'm going to roll over and go back to bed. So I figured this was probably the best.
Yeah, okay. And now
let me hold your question for a second, because I wanted to say something to that. So because everything's all about me. Basically though, what was really funny was, for me years ago when I graduated the conservatory, that's what my decision came down: New York or Los Angeles, New York or Los Angeles. And at the time, the money that I had, the money that I owed, the things that, it became a decision of, I've got better opportunities in Los Angeles. And the idea of living in a closet, paying $2,000 a month for a closet in New York, as opposed to possibly sharing a house or something out here.
Yeah.
That was it. I came to LA. So So that's, I recognize that.
Yeah.
So, please go
Where
ahead.
are you from originally?
D.C. I was born in D.C.
I kind of feel like, too, when you've grown up in a cold place, you're kind of like, I've had enough of that. I can say I've done that.
I actually miss it. I'm a little twisted. I miss it, but not too many people feel that way. So you're right on the mark with that. So
No, I was just going to ask, how long you've been out in L.A. now?
15 years.
Oh, okay. So you've been out here a lot longer than me, and not as long as
not as long as me. I've been out here 20 years now. So,
Wow.
yeah.
And I'm going on 8.5.
It really flies. I mean, I don't feel like I've been out here that long.
I agree. I understand that. I even
just sneaks up on you.
Yeah, I even said something about that last week because like I said, the weather out here, because it doesn't change that much. I think it just can slide by you. It's like, it's Halloween, okay, and it's Christmas, okay, it's Easter, okay. What changed? It didn't snow. It didn't rain. It didn't. The earth shook. But that's not a seasonal thing. If it was,
it's a weekly thing.
Yeah, that would be great. If it was a seasonal thing, it would be great. It's like, all right, we're all leaving. We'll come back and strap everything down, and we're gonna go on vacation for this next 2 weeks. So, so now that you're in LA, you obviously you're saying it's been a little rough recently. Have you had some good years or anything like that? Has it all been? Has it been up and down, or has it mostly been down?
There's kind of good moments. I wouldn't say 1 year has been phenomenal and the rest, there's been good moments. And I did a lot of theater when I first came out here. And then I started having some vocal problems.
Oh no! What? Do you mind if I ask? I mean, like, what was the problem?
Well, it was my voice would get really raspy. And then I would just lose it. Like it would be gone. So the last play I had done, we were only performing 2 nights a week in a very small space, 99 seats type of thing.
It's what I was doing Tartuffe in. So,
and I lost my voice after the second night. And so I was kind of like, okay, I can't do theater now because I can't keep my voice for 2 nights in a really small space. So I started going to doctors for them to try to figure out what the problem was. They did all kinds of tests. They ended up finding out that it was acid reflux.
Oh, wow.
But the reason they had such a problem finding that out was because I didn't have any other symptoms.
That's, wow.
Yeah. So basically, it seems the acid was skipping everything except for my vocal cords. It was very strange.
But that's not a comfortable feeling at all. That's horrible.
I mean, for an actor, it's a terrible situation.
Yeah.
Well, we all have a connection besides being together on a web series that we've done. We all have been to Bang.
Yes.
And that's where I met you, Melinda. You were in a group that went on the same nights that we went on. I think you were ahead of us by a month, maybe. But
no, I think you were ahead of us.
Oh, were we? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we would perform on the same Friday nights. And Tony, of course, was a graduate of Bang as well. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were just Hot House.
No, Bang is what led to the Hot House.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of struck up our connection, is because we got cast in a pilot presentation.
Yeah.
And he played a biker, and I played the rich, arrogant neighbor next door.
Yep.
And we struck up a conversation. We found out that we both had Bang in common. In fact, Peter was the one who told me about the audition.
Peter Marietta?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And so that's where we kind of struck up a friendship through that.
Yep.
And then I met you playing at Bang when we were taking the season, or the course, or whatever you want to call it. And so it just made sense that, when we want to put projects together, let's work with people we know are good, and B, we want to have fun playing with.
Exactly.
Yeah, so.
Bang Improv Studio, for those of you who don't know, we're not just talking about banging. And sadly, it closed about 1.5 years ago.
That's a shock. I'm shocked by that. I still don't understand.
It's still, it's one of those things where it was Lisa and Peter Marietta, that was their kind of, their baby. And as Peter, was a showrunner on several very successful TV shows.
Wizard of Waverly Place.
Yeah, it was
the most recent. He's got another one out too.
Yeah, it's called Level Up.
Level Up. Yeah.
And he's traveling a lot, and
he's doing quite well.
Their son Joaquin is getting older, and all this stuff. And I think it just became more of a burden than it needed to be for them.
Let's have our
So-
evenings back, I think is what it came
Yeah,
to.
it might have been.
Yeah.
So I never got to talk to them about it. It's but I mean they're spectacular people, and it was a wonderful home for people for a long time. I
And
literally
all of the
it's dog.
teachers were really great too.
Yeah,
they're fantastic.
All good people. I in going back, I'm looking and it's kind of like in certain ways, I got a little who's who of teachers. I mean, Evan Gore, David Rosowski, Ezra Weiss, Todd Stashwick, all these different people that are all doing big things. Like David Rosowski went through Second City Chicago, and he was on the main stage with the exact same group as Steve Carell and Stephen Colbert.
Wow.
He came up with those guys. Those guys are his friends and compadres and all this stuff. And it's just the cachet of it is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was Bang Improv. I had gone to Groundlings for a semester and just came out of it furious. and a very
I've heard that. I've heard people really thought the experience was phenomenal, and then I also heard the flip side of that from some people. So
the training is good. The training is good, and I'm never going to be down on the Groundlings for any of that stuff. It's just that my experience with one or two people there that were in charge of things that I had to deal with were not nice to me, and so that definitely colored my feelings about them and all that stuff. But it's a phenomenal training ground. There's great people that have come out of it, fantastic people. But literally a very dear friend of mine named Pam Stallings was getting ready to graduate from Bang, and she said, "Come see one of my shows." And I did, and I saw how much fun everybody was having, and I'm like, that's what I need to be doing. Right. And that's what got me into Bang, and then the whole
That was
journey.
the thing about Bang. They really made it fun.
Yeah.
Like I knew if I was going there, I was going to be laughing.
Mm-hmm.
I would have my several laughs for the day. They really made it fun and taught you at the same time. And I feel like some of these other places take the fun out of it a little bit.
Yeah, I would not disagree with you. I think that depending upon who the teacher is and what they're trying to get across, it's like I had a great experience at the Second City Conservatory in LA because I had some phenomenal teachers. Amy Seeley, Frank Cayetti, Matt Craig. There's a couple other people. My brain is just not pulling up the names right now. Oh, Mark Warzeka. These just all understood improv and how to take improv and turn it into a sketch or a story, and took great joy in it and took great joy in expressing it to you. So overall, that was a great experience too. But I've been around some of the other places where, in the process of trying to get the process right, I've had friends come to me and tell me I'm in this class and I know it's good, but it's making me crazy, and I'm not having fun. So,
Yeah.
But what do you want to?
No, I was going to say, I also noticed when I was doing improv, my audition callbacks went up exponentially. It just felt like I was more in the moment. It just, opened you up a little bit more organically to be able to play in that audition where you needed to, because sometimes, you gotta look at what's being, they want you to do, and then you gotta add something to it. I always try to add a button that was unique. And then if they had you do it again, I twisted the button again,
right?
So it wasn't the same thing twice,
right?
And that's where I thought improv helped me out tremendously, and I got a lot of value out of that. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Well, especially for commercials, I've noticed they're almost all improv now.
Yeah.
I mean, there are very few, at least that I've been to, that are scripted, and so I think it's really important to have some improv under your belt.
Yeah.
Well, what do you say we take another quick break?
Yeah, let's take another commercial break.
We'll come back. We'll find out a little bit more what's going on with Melinda, and maybe we can get into one of her favorite topics, which is sports.
Okay,
We'll see you in a couple.
Okay.
Norman's Rare Guitars, the one-stop shop for all the celebrities, rock stars, and wannabes.
Check out them there, Norman's Rare Guitars. It's pretty damn good website. They got a whole bunch of cool brands of guitars that you can buy.
Check out normansrareguitars.com.
Are you looking for original music? Visit exciteradio.com. We feature only unsigned original artists for your listening pleasure. We offer independent artists, labels, venues, and fans a place to showcase their music, sell merchandise, and much more. Come check us out at exciteradio.com. The world is listening.
Katarina Vanderham, makeup, hair, and professional model. She knows what it takes to make you look as good as she does. Want the right makeup and hair for men's magazines? Need to make an impression on your next catalog shoot and has the knowledge and talent to give you the look you desire for your next photo or video production. Visit KatarinaVanderham.com for more information. Katarina Vanderham, makeup, hair, and professional model.
Zoo FX, creative specialist. We specialize in motion graphics, visual effects, 3D animation, DVD menu design, and professional website development for motion picture, broadcast, and the professional who is looking for the next level of discovery. Call us for an appointment at area code 818-888-0200 or visit us online at thezoofx.com and come see what we have to offer you and your company. When was the last time you've been to the zoo? Zoo FX.
All right, we are back with another segment of Drinks at Sunset with
The Wise Guys.
And to remind you, I'm J. Anthony McCarthy.
And I'm Steve Sabo.
And we're here talking with our good friend Melinda Ratner about just surviving as actors in this town and not being A-listers, you know. So
working our way up the alphabet, as we say.
So just a real quick thing. We've gotten you all the way out to L.A. and some of the theater stuff and everything. Is there anything in the last year or two that's been positive that you've enjoyed?
I got a new agent about a year and a half ago or so.
Commercial, theatrical. Okay,
that's important. That's very important.
It is very important. And it was very exciting because I had just kind of signed with him pretty recently. And I got a call from him asking me if I could tap dance, which it just so happens I did for 12 years.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's fantastic.
It was a long time ago, as I discovered, which is important. But yeah, I did it for 12 years, and he's like, can you tap dance? It says intermediate on here. And I was like, as a matter of fact, I can. And then I found out intermediate 12 years ago is pretty much beginner at this point because you're kind of starting over again.
Okay.
But he ended up booking me on Switched at Birth for 2 days.
Nice.
And yeah, it was great. And I just felt like it was really thinking outside the box because I didn't sign. It's actually I should say it's more of a dancers agency. They're known for dancers.
Interesting.
And they're kind of trying to move into the theatrical world and develop that a little more. So I was brought on, for that. I talk with my hands.
That's all right.
I was brought on for that, the theatrical part of it.
Right.
But then when he saw I could dance, they were looking for someone who could dance and act. And so he mentioned me, and that's how I got on it. And I thought, wow, that's kind of exciting because that's really thinking outside of the box to try to get me onto something.
That's nice.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
That's good.
We also did an episode of
Rizzolian Isles.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah.
And
that was a lot of fun. It was just a small little part, but it was a lot of fun.
It was a great scene. Great scene.
It was with Angie Harmon, which was nice.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
And Tony did an episode of one of my favorite shows, Castle.
Yeah.
And they keep showing it. They showed it this week.
Excellent. Well,
I forgot to text you.
That means maybe I'll have a check coming to me at some point in time. So that's good.
Yeah,
that's
we always like that.
And again, what you said, my scene, I had one little scene, but it was just me and the two lead characters, and that was just a blast. So,
yeah. And everybody was so nice on set, and so it was really...
That's fantastic.
And you get your trailer, and you're like, Okay, I'm never leaving.
That's right.
You're going to have to drag me in the trailer to wherever you're going next because I'm not leaving.
I don't know. I did a commercial when I had a separate trailer, and I felt so isolated. I'm like, where? I want to be with people, you know? I want to talk to people. And it was like all by myself. Someone had to come and get me and knock on the door, and I'm like, okay, you know, because
But weren't there other ones next to you?
Yeah, kind of, but
was there anybody else playing at that point in time?
Yeah, there was nobody around. So I felt so isolated. I'm like, I'd rather be in with somebody. I'd rather be off to the side watching what was going on.
Right.
Just so
I do
you know
like
what I'm saying?
to do
So I
that.
could stay engaged and see how everybody's reacting and stuff like that. But
It's just the idea of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's fascinating
I got myself a trailer.
Yeah.
is my days on Rake, because there was a group of us. There was I was the bailiff, and there was a person who was a jury member, and there was a person who was the jury foreman, and there was another character who was like the assistant DA. That we were all there for the same scenes as guests and co-stars. So we got called in at the same time. Our trailers were right next to each other. We went to meals together, and we basically, while we were waiting for them to call us to set, we all wound up in one person's dressing room, just sitting around, shooting, just chatting for a while.
Right.
And that was a blast. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
When you're
And that's exactly what I was hoping the experience would be like, as
Yeah.
opposed to me by myself
Yeah.
for 4 hours, And it's like, okay.
It's good to be able to nap.
Yeah, mine was more like Tony's.
Yeah, it's good to be able to nap, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So that's cool. So a couple of good things there for you.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on right now? Anything in particular?
Well, non-acting wise, my boyfriend and I have torn up our front yard, and we have made it hopefully drought tolerant.
Ah, cool.
It was grass that was constantly brown,
Right.
even though we would use the sprinklers. And so he had some free time, and so he decided to tear all the grass out, which was quite backbreaking for him, I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
And then I helped with picking the plants and planting the plants. He did all the hard work.
So
really.
that's cool. So you put in like some of the stuff that survives in the California desert.
Yeah,
and
they say
doesn't
once
suck
it's
up a lot of water.
established, you shouldn't have to water it too often.
That's
The first year you have to water, but
Yeah.
so that's fun. I mean, it's fun, picking out plants, and I like gardening.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's something.
And while some of the plants are a little sere looking, there is some nice colors. Some of the flowers, I know the cactus and some of those things flower very beautifully.
It's really amazing how many plants out there are drought tolerant now.
Mm-hmm.
I almost question if they just know everybody wants drought tolerant plants, so they're like, "Oh yeah, that's drought tolerant," and then you get it home and summer comes and everything dies.
Oh,
So
jeez.
I question it a little bit. 'Cause there
lied to
are
me.
a lot of really nice flowering, like leafy plants that are drought tolerant. But we got some succulents too. There's tons of cool succulents.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
very cool.
Now, Melinda, you were saying as we were walking in to do the show that you are also back into the improv scene, right?
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about that.
I've been studying at UCB. They have 4 levels.
Right.
And I've just finished the 3rd level, so I'm waiting to get
Congratulations.
into the 4th.
And what
Very
does
cool.
UCB stand for?
Upright Citizens Brigade.
Okay, good. In case for people who don't know what UCB is.
Yes.
And you just recently did a show, right?
Yes, you get one graduation show
All right, great.
for levels 1 through 3. And then when you're in the 4th level, you get 2 shows. You get one at the midpoint, and then you get another one at the end.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, and then are you moving up to the 4th level, or?
I think so. It seems the 4th level has less classes offered, and so they fill up a lot more quickly.
I see.
And so I just have to wait for one to open up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how's the process been for you there? I mean, that's one of the places that I know that their philosophy can be a little bit different from some of the other places.
Yeah,
the way
I mean,
they-
I've only been at Bang in there, so
Okay.
I can't speak on like Second City and IO.
Yeah,
but
well, just comparing, like, say, Bang to UCB.
it's really different. It's very different. They're definitely all about the process and all about
The game.
the Herald.
Right.
Yeah, the Herald and the game. And so that's pretty much all you do is exercises to be able to get you to finding the game and being able to do the Herald. Whereas at Bang, I feel like we did a lot more short form.
Right.
where you actually played a lot of games, not the game.
Right.
It's kind of confusing when you go to UCB because they talk about the game and you're like, oh, I've played games. What game are we going to do?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, not those kind of games.
The game of the scene.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So that's different. And then the other thing I really liked about Bang is that once you had gotten to a certain point, you performed once a week.
Right.
Whereas here, you just perform once.
Right. It's a different business model is what it is. So.
It is. Yeah. But I had a really great, my last teacher I really liked a lot, Julie Brister.
That's a very familiar name.
She was really funny. She was great.
How big is your group?
This last one was 11, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
The other two were 15.
Wow. Big groups. Big groups. Because Bang,
But
we were the largest
split.
with 8. Yeah, and we split into 2 groups of 4.
Yeah,
But
this is like 2 groups of 5 or 6 or somewhere around
Nice.
there. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. I like it a lot, and I think it's very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
It has a different feel than Bang did.
Right.
But I've definitely learned a lot.
Well, I mean, the training is excellent. Again, it's one of those places that I'm never going to speak badly of from that standpoint. The training is excellent. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yep, it's so valuable.
Yeah.
And speaking of training and excellence and all the things that come with it, the end result is what we go and pay money to see, at least I do. And those are called movies.
Right.
And I went and saw a couple of movies over the week.
Nice segue, Steve.
Thank you.
He's the master of the segue. He really is. We're going to get him a segue and just have him ride it around.
That's right. I saw a couple of movies over the week. Now, Tony, you did tell me it was okay to talk about these, even though you had not seen them yet.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say this. Let's say spoiler alert for anybody who's listening that haven't seen them.
Okay.
So,
yes, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen them, but
Okay.
I'm going to talk about them.
Yeah.
First one is Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and saw Godzilla in IMAX, at the AMC in Burbank.
Yeah,
And
you like to see the big screen stuff.
I
so,
got it. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I got
so.
it. I went to a matinee, so I didn't have to spend the $20 or whatever it was. I only spent $13. But I went and saw Godzilla, hoping it would be everything I wanted it to be. Because I've seen, you know me, I don't want to see a bunch of trailers because I feel if I see all the trailers, I've seen the movie, and what's the point? So I've only saw the one trailer where they're jumping out of the plane with the smoke coming off their feet,
Right.
and they're going down into this dark cloud, and you don't know what they're going to see because
Right.
at that time they hadn't exposed
The
Godzilla,
monster.
and I'm like, this looks so cool. So I went and saw the movie,
Right.
and it was okay. I'll say it was okay. I wasn't a real big fan of the other.
The Matthew Broderick.
No.
Sorry.
Godzilla was cool. Godzilla was cool. The story was okay, but the antagonists, they had these creatures. They were almost like Mothras, but they're not.
Okay.
And they call them something different, Motos or something like that. But anyways, I wasn't a big fan of them because they just didn't fit right. I wanted it to be Mothra. It wasn't, and they were kind of doing other things. One could fly, one couldn't, and they just seemed clumsy. But they made Godzilla the hero, and which was interesting because I thought it was going to be how Godzilla was the bad guy.
Right.
But he wasn't. He was the good guy out of the movie, which was that was the part I liked.
Isn't that kind of how they always turn out, though? Like King Kong, originally, you felt bad for King Kong.
Well, that's true. That's true.
And I think what I remember, the original Japanese Godzilla first destroyed Tokyo and then became the keeper of Tokyo, and tried to protect it from all the other monsters that showed up.
And that's what this one was, which I'm not being a connoisseur of Godzilla. This was like my first start to finish sitting of a Godzilla movie. That's what it was, and because at first you thought he was the bad guy, and then all of a sudden the humans quickly figured out that he was the protector of the Earth, and there was history behind that because that's what the Mark Cranston, whatever
Bryan
Cranston's character was finding out through the research, and we thought he was crazy, but as it turns out, he was right all along.
Of course,
and of course, and then you see these other creatures come out, and Godzilla beats them and all that kind of stuff. So that was okay. It was okay.
It was okay.
The second one I saw, which was called X-Men.
Days of Future Past.
It was that too, yes. That one was excellent.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
And I saw that.
And I read the comic book originally. I'm looking forward to whatever they do. I don't give a crap if you spoil it for me. I'm going to still enjoy the movie.
I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I am going to say it didn't move as quickly as like the first Star Trek came. You know,
Okay.
How everything was boom, 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 boom.
Right.
And it was, but it just hit the right beats, the right tones, the right moments. It had enough humor in it. It brought a story back full circle that if you're a fan, you're gonna like.
Cool.
And it also got darker in places that I didn't think it was going to be as dark.
Mm-hmm.
And they found a way out of it, which was really cool.
That's very cool.
And the Sentinels are kick ass.
Yeah.
So it was a good movie. It was enjoyable. It was one of the movies you go to and you just sit back, eat your popcorn, have a good time, and when you're done, everybody claps.
That's cool.
And that's a good movie experience because that's new to me because on the East Coast, nobody claps at movies.
Right.
Out here, if it's a good movie, people are clapping.
That is something that
Isn't that
happens
cool?
here. Yeah.
That is so cool. It's like, yeah, I'm not the only one who feels that way.
Yeah.
It's funny, I go back to Greensburg and my parents visit here a lot.
Right.
And a movie will end that we really liked and my mom will start clapping and like nobody's clapping.
Yeah.
And it's another thing where, of course, nobody leaves because you want to see that end tag.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And they had one, so you got to stay.
Okay.
But they don't have one at the very end. They only have one. They have
Okay.
it kind of halfway, which is good. But it's an enjoyable movie. You definitely get what you want out of it if you're a fan.
Right.
And that's all I'm gonna say. I haven't ruined it. I haven't
you
told
haven't.
you any bits and pieces of it other
No,
than
you haven't. That was
I had a good time.
that was well done. That what you skated
And I
around
think
that
I might
nicely.
have intrigued Melinda into going and seeing it with her boyfriend. So you never know. But definitely well worth the $13.50, and I'll go see it again if you want me to.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, for me, I still gotta go see Spider-Man, and I definitely want to go see X-Men. So that's on my agenda, possibly this weekend. I don't know.
And it did 111 million for the 4 days.
Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah.
Wow.
X-Men, and it's already done 300 million worldwide. So a big block. I think they're going to do real well. Godzilla did 93 mil the first week. Now it was up against X-Men the second week.
Right.
It did another 30. So not bad second week.
Yeah, not bad.
Especially up against a movie that does 111.
Yeah. So what did you find out what the X-Men cost to make?
Oh, I did not. I didn't have it on there, but I'll see if I can get it.
That's one of those things I figure, they've probably already made their money back at this point. If they've made 300 million worldwide in this one weekend, if it cost over 200 million to make, I'd be shocked. So,
yeah.
But that's cool, man. That's I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Amazing Spider-Man as well. So
yeah, I enjoyed that too. Neighbors, you asked about Neighbors, or Melinda, when we were talking in the green room.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying that was a movie you wanted to go see.
Yeah, I think
I've been
it
hearing
looks fun.
good stuff about it. So.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks out. This will be the third week. It's already got 90 million in. Guess how much it cost to make?
I'd say like 25 maybe.
Very close. Only 18.
Wow.
So they're definitely
quite a
the
profit.
people who put money up for that are definitely singing and dancing, maybe even
Yeah.
tap dancing. You never know. And so a great project for that. And I've heard good things from it. I heard it's a really funny movie. So
Yeah.
And of course, Captain America is almost 300 million. It's like 280 now.
Yeah.
And so they're doing real good.
It's interesting to me, especially with the animated kids movies, how some just take off and other ones
Frozen.
just don't.
Frozen's done 400 million already.
Wow. Yeah.
The Lego movie, we talked about this last week, done 254, only cost 60 to make.
Wow.
So a real good return on investment, as they say. So,
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, some good stuff there. Some really good stuff. So Melinda, you're a big feature in our web series. We pick the winners with the Wise Guys. And let me ask you this. Is there anything you would like to see us do in any future episodes coming up?
Oh, wow. That's putting me on the spot.
Yeah. Well, you've only got a couple of seconds to
That's
answer.
right.
You're in good shape. So.
Maybe a wedding. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what that would do to
I don't
the...
You never know. So, well, I'll tell you what. It's great to have had you here. Thank you for participating.
Thanks for
coming
inviting
out,
me, guys.
And I'm J. Anthony McCarthy.
I'm Steve Sabo.
And thanks again for visiting with us on another episode of Drinks at Sunset with The Wise Guys. Good night, you guys.
Thank you for joining us on Drinks at Sunset with the Wise Guys. That's all the great original entertainment we have for you tonight. Join us next week for more original entertainment. We now return to our regularly scheduled programming.
I feel honored.
We like you.
Oh, that's fun.
It's the Hollywood Rockin' Wrap-Up with your host, Jason Hadley. Sad news as famed Nobel Prize-winning poet Maya Angelou passed away at the age of 86. In a related story, the 1989 Robin Williams movie Dead Poets Society welcomes its newest member. Snake Salvation's Cody Coots claims it was the Lord that saved him after the preacher was bitten by one of his church's venomous rattlers. Of course, handling snakes as a test of faith is nothing new to religion. Catholic altar boys have been doing that for years. Hi-yo! At a recent premiere for Angelina Jolie's Maleficent, security swarmed Brad Pitt after the actor was rushed by a man who managed to get over a barrier. I'm guessing that barrier wasn't shyness. Those who tuned into NBC for the World Music Awards were shocked to find the broadcast had been mysteriously canceled. Considering the World Music Awards hasn't held a ceremony since 2010, tens of millions of, just tens of viewers were disappointed. And that's the Hollywood Rockin' Wrap-Up. Follow us on Twitter at Rockin' Wrap-Up.
Making their debut to the world, Mall Alternative Rock and Roll with frontman Chris Young, conquering the mastery of their music and capturing the essence of pure adrenaline. Visit them online at mallrock.com for upcoming shows, and don't forget to pick up the new self-titled debut album, available anywhere music is sold.
Are you looking for professional search engine optimization for you and your business? Look no further. Announcing Keyword Search Pros. KSP has been optimizing sites for years and knows how to increase your website's visibility and ranking. Their expert team will take you step by step and get the best possible results within your budget. And the outcome is always more visitors and increased traffic. Stop by their website and sign up for a free Google AdWords evaluation. For complete information on search engine optimization and pay-per-click management, visit keywordsearchpros.com.
Why don't I have any friends? Why doesn't anyone like me? Why was I beaten unmercifully just for walking into that kid at school? Because you're a geek. Attention nerds, geeks, goofs, dorks, and dweebs. You now have friends.
That's right, you heard us.
Want a friend? Come join us live every Friday at 5 Pacific on Excite Radio. Unveil and expose geek life on Geek Speak. Because if we don't, who the fuck will? Call in via voice, Skype, or instant message. You can now watch us live on Ustream and subscribe on iTunes. Be there, or be a fourth-dimensional rectangular object with four parallel areas that intersect to form a shape.
H2O Restoration and Mold is your complete restoration solution when your home or business is exposed to water damage and mold infestation. H2O Water Damage and Mold are licensed, bonded, and insured, and has a certified and dedicated team that are qualified to handle your water damage and restoration needs. We offer 24/7 immediate emergency response anywhere in our service areas, with arrival to your location within 1 hour or less. We offer direct insurance billing to save you the headache of paperwork. H2O Water Damage and Mold are family owned and operated, and we offer free estimates. We pride ourselves on being a trustworthy, elite company that excels at what we do because we love what we do. Our primary mission is to provide you with outstanding service and excellent workmanship while remaining professional, courteous, and honest. For more information, visit h2owaterdamage.com or call us at 805-907-6213. H2O Restoration and Mold Damage Specialists. Seeking a home for your website and require managed services? What are managed services? You need to make a change to your website but don't know how to do it? Don't have a content management system installed or don't understand how to use it? Managed hosting is the way to go. With XMLA Managed Website Hosting, you just email us or give us a call and we will update your website for you. Packages start at only $24.95 per month, and it's only $5 for each additional gigabyte of space. And you can host and serve your site on a fast, reliable platform with complete control. Visit xmlahost.com for complete information.
Don't forget to subscribe to our iTunes podcast. Simply visit our shows page and select your favorite show, or search for your favorite show in iTunes. You can now hear this show on multiple stations around the world. Thank you to our many partner stations and syndicates.